Hey Foogers! This week we are doing a Foogality original recipe that we came up with by merging some of our favorite things, smashed potatoes, salmon, and Hollandaise sauce. We've made it a handful of times now. We've had it taste tested by several of our friends. Everybody has given it rave reviews, so stick around because you're not going to want to miss this one. So this recipe was totally kind of made up by us because we had some salmon one week that was left over that we had grilled out. Then he had made this Hollandaise sauce in our Celiac battle video. And then I was like, oh yeah, we have potatoes and I really want to try making smashed potatoes. And it was kind of this, I'm celiac, I can't have English muffins, but we wanted like a good type of eggs Benedict. And in the past I've had an eggs Benedict that has used salmon. So like all these kind of notes came in and I was like, we're doing it. We're doing smashed potatoes with salmon on top and Hollandaise sauce. And then it was one of the best things we've ever made.
Right.
We've made it 4 times since then. Can't get enough. I mean, we have 2 more pounds of salmon, so we can just keep making it.
Right. Happy accident. Turns out consistent every time. Not that hard to put together, especially for breakfast. And absolutely super delicious. Knock it out of the park every time. No questions asked.
And if you make it for your friends, they literally think that they're getting like a restaurant level experience in the comfort of your own home.
Right? Because this thing ended up like looking pretty beautiful at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
You got crispy, crunchy, dark, burnt edge kind of potatoes with all the crags in it. You got the like nice salmon on top, which just makes any dish look pretty good. And then you're just covering it in this like butter egg yolk sauce, right? And then just sprinkle some like green, vegetables on top, chives, parsley, something along those lines, and then 5-star dish.
Yeah, I can't get enough. And if people ask me what my favorite meal now is, I might even say this. It is that good.
Wow. All right.
All right, Brett. So we're going to keep it pretty easy today. We're just going to steam our salmon. Last time I mentioned we grilled it. Now the Arctic chill has swept through the Midwest, so it's freezing here. We're not going upstairs to grill. You can sear it. We've done that before. We've just seared it right on the stovetop. You can bake it.
You can't go wrong here. Just apply cooked salmon. If you want to apply raw salmon too, I'm not going to complain about it. Go the sushi style eatery, but it'll all be good no matter what.
Cooked or raw, you end up just kind of flaking it apart, so it really doesn't matter like how beautiful your pieces look because the flaked salmon just works really well on top of the smashed potatoes. So we're just going to shove this in our steamer, let it go for about 10 minutes or so. We'll kind of see, we'll keep an eye on it. And then to the more interesting thing, we're going to start making our Hollandaise sauce. So Brett, you developed this Hollandaise sauce, right?
Yeah, to turn it into basically like a Hollandaise, it was part of the Celiac dish, right, that we put together. So that was just part of like that. We just wanted a creamy sauce on top of the Celiac. Using the cured egg yolk model to make a Hollandaise sauce is very stable. Otherwise, it's like kind of technical, a little tricky to get right the Hollandaise sauce without it breaking, and then you end up with like this buttery soup that has like egg floating in it. But this model, we've been 10 out of 10. There's no way to mess it up really. It's very stabilized, very convenient, and all we're gonna do here is just cure these egg yolks again. Makes it super stable, and we're gonna start with some salt down on a plate here.
All right, so I just cover the plate with the salt.
Yep, just enough so it's like sitting on a bed of salt. And I'm gonna crack the egg yolks in here. This feels like a double yolk.
We go through a lot of salt in this house. Don't be afraid of it.
Well, I mean, we've cured bacon and all kinds of stuff, so I'm gonna take this out. I'm just grabbing the yolk out here, and I'm gonna set it right on top of the salt. So it's really flimsy right now, the way you do it. Crack her up.
No double yolks.
No double yolks, unlucky.
These are nice looking little yolks.
Yeah, very
so then
nice.
I just go ahead and should I put it in my hand first? Or?
No, you just sprinkle salt all around it. Worst thing you can do is just like waste extra salt. Well, we're gonna cure these for about 45 minutes inside the salt, so they're just basically covered. And then we're gonna rinse all the salt off of them so that we don't want the salty flavor. We just want it to like draw moisture out of the egg yolk. And make them like a little bit more firm enough that we can like run them underwater and not have them like break in any way. So, and then when we mix them together to form the Hollandaise, it becomes super easy and very difficult to mess up.
How does that look?
Perfect. No, they don't have to be. Yeah, they don't have to be totally covered at all. Yeah, try and get most of the salt on the plate though, if you want. So
Happy accidents, right?
Yeah, so it'll draw the moisture out no matter what.
Cool.
And we're good.
All
and we
right,
just
so
let
now...
those set out for about 45 minutes, and then they'll be good to go.
Well, that's pretty easy. So far we just have some yolks curing. We have potatoes boiling on the stovetop. That should be done soon, and then we can start smashing them.
All right, let's get to it.
We got some hot potatoes here, Brett.
Yeah, so they're done boiling. It took about 20, 30 minutes, depending on how big they are. You don't want to have like big russet potatoes. These are the best, like fingerling potatoes. Something that's, roughly the size of
yellow potatoes, red potatoes.
Yeah,
Just kind of these small
like
little guys, and then we toss some avocado oil on them.
Yep, so we want to put like a high heat oil on these, so like an avocado oil or grapeseed oil or any other frying oils, because it's going to be going in at 425. So we don't want to have like olive oil that isn't made for high heat.
Right. All right, so how do we smash these? Just like with my hand or
so
with a hammer?
The way I use it is I use something that it's not going to stick to. So I just have
smart.
like a cutting board and then, and then I press it down with like, this rolling pin that I have. I mean, you can just use your hand, but like that's not as funny. So I just lay it down and I smash like right where it's going to be.
And you can kind of hear it like...
Oh yeah, you just feel it press down. And these, depending on if you didn't cook your potatoes enough, this will be very challenging. If you did cook them enough, they'll just squish very easily. So I'll just press down lightly, one hand, and I just kind of want to get them a little flat. You don't want to press them like all the way as hard. Wow, this was a massive potato.
Yeah, that was huge.
See, if your potatoes are too big, then you end up with like a hamburger.
Which, I'm not complaining. Like a hamburger potato sounds great.
Right, that'll just be like one serving of potato for somebody.
And we just got this Silpat, which is really exciting because it's like instead of having to reuse parchment paper all the time, we just have like one sheet that's super easy to clean. And so I'm excited about it. We've used it a couple times, but so far so good.
Highly recommend. It's been very popular for many, many years. Just saves on parchment paper.
All right, so we got all of these smashed down up, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and salt and pepper them. You might say, hey, you mentioned like 2 months ago that your salt shaker broke and you're still using a bowl. We're sold now. We're sold on the bowl model. Like, we're not gonna get a salt shaker anymore. This is great because you just grab a pinch and then you just...
Right, you just season as needed. You don't need to shake it.
Who even invented the salt shaker? Because failed. And you want to just do it from higher up so that you get more even coverage. And we don't do that for peppercorn because we always use whole peppercorns. And I actually saw in a recipe recently that if you use pre-ground peppercorn, you're actually supposed to use twice as much because that's how, like, that's the potency difference.
Right.
So we've actually noticed a huge difference. It's super cheap to buy whole peppercorn too. We buy them in bulk, like we do everything.
Right, multiple pounds of peppercorns at a time. They last for years. And when you crack them, we always get really good flavor out of it. So number one rule to change your life, stop using pre-ground pepper.
Yeah, number one rule to change your life. Just, any other aspect of your life doesn't matter, but the pepper that you eat, super critical.
All right, so we're gonna throw these guys in, like I said, 425 for about half an hour. They'll start turning noticeably brown. Mm-hmm. Hard to overdo these. So.
Yeah, so this is a great brunch thing because while you're hanging out with your friends and you toss this in for half an hour, it's the perfect time to make a mimosa. So there you go.
We will not be doing here.
So we just steamed our salmon. I got this like awesome veggie steamer when I was in college, and I still use it for absolutely everything.
I've been trying to get rid of it for like 5 years.
Well, we use it so much.
We do. It keeps coming in handy.
So it's basically falling apart. That's the lovely thing about steaming. And for this, I'm just going to go ahead and shred it. So
yeah, we just want chunks or strips either way. So just something that we can like sprinkle on top like we would do anything else.
And the skin fell right off too. I basically just pulled the hunk right off the skin. You could leave the skin on. Some people like to eat the skin. It's not my favorite for this particular dish, but...
No, especially if you steamed it. Like, you're not getting that crispy skin like if you grilled it or pan-fried it. Most people don't like it anyway. It's totally edible, but not for this dish. So for the egg yolks, we cured them for like 45 minutes in salt. I rinsed them off under the sink to make sure I got all the salt off. They're pretty tacky, a little plasticky almost on the exterior.
Yeah, they definitely have like a little film to them, and you can almost kind of... Well, I'm going to break it, but you could... almost pick it up.
Yeah,
right?
they're still pretty fragile. Like, yeah, you just pinched it and it just kind of disintegrated here. Started leaking everywhere. So you just got to be a little careful. You can leave them out for like a week or so though, and then you can have like you can like shave them because the egg yolk becomes so hard that you can use it as like a umami kind of
like
ingredient.
It almost is like a little cheese if you grate it on a salad. That's how we've had it in the past.
Very common practice.
So should I go ahead and just like...
Yeah, so mix that in there. We're going to add a little bit of a lemon juice to it as well. I have a quarter of a lemon here. A half tends to be too much just for 2 people, but if you're going to make this for 4, basically go with the rule of a quarter of a lemon for every 2 people.
And we probably do a little extra lemon. If we were just making a regular hollandaise sauce, we might use only 1/8 of a lemon, but it's great with the salmon because a very common thing to do is to squirt lemon juice on top of your fish.
Yep.
So we just kind of bake that into our sauce so that our sauce is a little lemony.
Yeah, it goes well here. All right, so you're just breaking up the egg yolk here. It tends to want to stay a little like chunky when you cure the egg yolk. There's like little flecks in here, but I've never noticed that in the food.
Yeah.
If you use like an immersion blender, if you're making more of this, you want to use like a full like blend model where those things go away.
That's gonna be the next video, making a gallon of hollandaise sauce so that we can just drink it every morning.
See how long it keeps for. All right, and then we're gonna just like kind of drizzle some of the butter in here. You don't have to be as slow as you normally would be, so I'm just gonna start out a little bit slower just to be safe, and I'm gonna pour it all over Angela's hand because she moves the bowl, and then once you get about halfway, you can really dump it in here. So you really shouldn't be pouring this for more than 30 seconds.
All right, you've been pouring for more than 30 seconds,
Right.
So what's the deal?
I'm always a little nervous about it. I got PTSD from traditional hollandaise making. There we go.
All right, and just like that, you have hollandaise sauce. So super. If you've ever made regular hollandaise sauce, you already can see how super easy and like foolproof this is.
All right, and then we're gonna chop up some chives too, just to garnish on top. One, because they go well with the salmon, and they look really good on the dish as well. So.
And chives are delicious. I also think there's something about just adding some fresh herbs to your meals that really kind of help elevate it. I think a lot of people are afraid of seasoning or afraid of herbs, and it does make a big difference. You do notice it, and it is worth it. So.
Right.
And who cares about having chunky chives anyway? All right, and I think our potatoes are about done, so then we can just assemble and eat. Totally forgot to add a little mustard to our hollandaise sauce, so we're just whipping that in now to help it thicken up a little bit.
Just a squirt of Dijon, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's looking a little thicker now, bro.
Yeah, I was like, that looks a little weird. We're gonna just assemble everything as needed here. You going first, or am I going first?
We can go at the same time, right?
Well, sure. Oh, I thought you were gonna fork it out.
No. So, just a nice... Bro, I was like, do we have enough salmon? And now that I'm putting this on the potatoes, I'm like, oh, this is quite a bit of salmon.
All right, then add the sauce.
So I get all of this, or... No?
None goes to waste. No leftovers.
I'll just do a spoonful at a time to keep it. You know, guys, this is what marriage is all about.
And depending on how much butter you use, how much lemon juice you squirt in here, it could be a little thicker, it could be a little runnier. Just depends on the extra ingredients. The cured egg yolks really help it like seize up a lot more, be a little bit thicker. Right, but if you want yours extra buttery or extra lemony, just know thickness will vary.
So then, and we're pretty chive heavy people. You can definitely use a lot less, but they're really good. And the advice here too is to drop from above.
Do that high sprinkle. Extra style points in the kitchen. And we have a pretty high pile of potatoes here too, so don't forget when you mix stuff around, these ingredients are really going to disappear that are just kind of floating on top.
We eat.
All right, taste test, here we go.
The taste test. The moment of truth.
So we got some extra crispy potatoes on the bottom. Pulled them out just as they started to brown around the edges. I can't get anything, they're so crispy.
They're crispy on the outside, but soft on the inside. The salmon goes super well with it. You know, we just seasoned that with like salt and pepper, kept it pretty simple. And then you have the hollandaise just totally comes in as like, I'm the boss of the show. I'm lemony, I'm buttery, I'm egg yolky, I'm delicious.
Right, yeah, the lemoniness really helps, goes with the fish really well. And then everything kind of saturates into the potatoes. Yeah, you definitely want to have seasoned potatoes here. Otherwise, that is the most prominent ingredient in the dish. So if you had like really bland potatoes, this isn't going to taste that good. No matter how much hollandaise sauce you add to it, the potato is just going to either taste like salty and good, or like salty, peppery, whatever you want to do to it, garlicky if you want. Otherwise, it'll just taste like bland nothingness with hollandaise on it.
It's a winner.
Would devour again.
10 out of 10. This is like our 4th or 5th time making this. It's good every time. It's not even hard. Make it. Try it. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
All right, yeah. And if you guys want to see any of the other videos we've made, other interesting dishes, other kind of copycat recipes, we've done some head-to-head battles, all kinds of interesting things. Check it out. You can check them out on the videos over here and down here.
And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow us along on our culinary journey as we make up more and more delicious things to eat.
All right, yeah, guys. See you next time for the next weird thing we're going to make. Bye.
Bye.